hi, honey. I keep feeling like we need to do one more little piece on marriage, just maybe on the three. If you had to give people just three bits of advice, what would you tell them?
Well, number one, go to the balcony. And that
Well,
means
that's funny, because look,
there's the
look at all
balcony.
these
Oh, there's a
balconies.
balcony right
Oh,
there.
there's a really good one. You could go to that one. What do you mean by go
When you
to
get
the
in a
balcony?
big fat argument, leave and go look at the big picture. Go stand up in the balcony so you can see the whole stage, so you can figure out why they think they are doing what they're doing.
Of course, that's never happened to us, but
No, of
still.
course not. No.
Just
But
in
I mean,
case.
we got some really bad advice when we were married. We were told never go to bed on an argument. We were staying up all night for night after night.
Never let the sun set on a
It's just
disagreement.
crazy. Leave the argument. Go change your clothes. Go think about something else for a minute. And then suddenly things start to clear out and the cobwebs clear. And it's not as serious as you thought it was.
Okay, there's number one. We'll give you two more of these. We're only going to get to three because more than three, too complicated. Well, even though we gave up the idea of never letting the sun set on a disagreement, we did. Maybe this is number two. We sort of modified it and said, you know, let's never let the weekend let's never finish the week without resolving anything we have left over. So we started these crazy ideas called Sunday sessions.
Actually, executive sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Richard's, a business school guy, so we have to have all business terms at our house, and on Sundays we had what we call an executive session. And that starts with
Your sandwich method.
the schedule. No, we go through the schedule and things have to be done, and then at the end we do the sandwich method, which is I tell him all the things I can think of that I appreciate about what he'd done that week, and then I tell him right between the nose, you did something that really made me mad this week, and it made me feel bad, so you should know about it.
So it's like a clearinghouse because, you may go to the balcony, so to speak, or go to sleep and see if you feel better the next day. But you don't want a whole week to go by, or more than a week, without getting to the bottom of anything that's been bothering you. Because, this is a phrase to keep in mind. Unexpressed feelings never die. They just get buried and come forth later in uglier forms.
I can be kind of ugly. Sorry.
You can be ugly.
I can, and the thing is, it's not going to evaporate overnight either. There are a lot of things that take a long time to work out, and there's some things that never change, and you just keep saying, this really bugs me, and you just keep doing the same thing. But, at least we know it. We know how we feel.
So that's kind of number two, and we've got one more just to get up to three things. Three ideas that will save and enhance your marriage. We'll come to that in a minute. So Linda, you mentioned go to the balcony, and we're on a balcony here, so it's a good place to finish that thought. What exactly do you mean by you've got to, when you're having a conflict, you've got to go to the balcony?
Well, I think I explained that a minute ago. I just think it's important not to go together, to leave yourself and go stand farther away from the conflict and view the whole stage and figure out what it is that other crazy person is thinking.
So the balcony is just a metaphor for not making it worse in the heat of the moment.
Right. Well, no, it's seeing the real deal. I mean, sometimes we get so wrapped up in what we want and how we want to have it and so on, and that we're right. I never do that, though.
No,
But it really is detrimental to the conversation because we have to be able to see the other person's point of view.
So we promised three little tips, and one then would be clear the air. And you do that by going to the balcony and by having this weekly time when you really clear the air. Here's some clear air, by the way. See, we're metaphoring everything. You clear the air by going to the balcony and by having a Sunday session every Sunday. The second thing I'd like to recommend, and we're illustrating that too right now because we're kind of on a date, we're kind of on a little outing, we're kind of on a little thing, and you got to continue the courtship. Continuing the courtship is key to any marriage, keeping the romance alive, and it's also the most fun you can ever have.
know, one thing you are really good at is giving me a compliment every day. I don't know whether you lay in bed in the morning and think, what can I compliment Linda on today?
I just look at you and one comes to mind.
And I am so bad at it. I can always find something that you're doing wrong. And
I consider
do
those
mention
things
that.
compliments.
Okay,
They're just sort of
remember that.
backhanded compliment. Backhanded. So continue the courtship, and to some of you that might mean going on a date every week. I mean, we know a lot of couples that reserve Friday night, and they have a date, and it's a real date. And you know, courtship is what got you together. It's also what can keep you together.
We spend way too much time together. I can find way too many things you're doing wrong.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we're
Let's
at a
get
different
on to
age
that.
now than some people that are watching.
Oh, I thought you meant you're a different age than me.
No.
Many people think.
No, we're at
People are always saying, "Oh, Miss Dreyer, it's so nice that you brought your daughter."
Right.
That was my compliment for you.
Yeah, that's right. He does this every day. But anyway.
But here's the third thing, and the most important one of all, and I don't know how we're going to illustrate this unless we kneel down here on the balcony, but the third thing is to pray together. Praying together does more, you know, it was Alfred Lord Tennyson that said, more things are wrought in this world by prayer than we can imagine. And the best way to keep your marriage vital and wonderful is to make it a three-way partnership where the third partner is the Lord.
You know, it may sound out of place to some people to talk about that on a video, but you know, the more study we've done, the more we realize that everybody prays. Now, I thought we were the only ones that were praying. Well, not the only ones, but you know, the ones in our religion.
82% on the poll we
But
just saw.
80 really is
Say
over
they pray
80%.
regularly.
It's quite amazing.
And
Well,
so
regularly is once a week.
Well, why
But that's
not?
pretty regular.
Why not
Person.
pray with your spouse? Why not make it a meeting? Why not make it a three-way meeting where you share? Sometimes prayer is a great way of communication because what you say in prayer as you're kneeling together, as you're praying together, conveys a lot of your feelings in a beautiful way to not only God but to your spouse.
I know, like, please help this stupid person to know that he is wrong.
You've never said that in a prayer. See, that's the whole
Well,
point. You
sort
wouldn't
of.
dare. You'd say it to me, but you wouldn't dare say it to God.
Well,
So it sort of straightens Linda out to get her to pray.
I'm glad you forgot that because really there are sometimes that I please help him, please help him. And then I realize, oops, I'm the one that needs the help. Oh shoot, I am the problem.
All right. So thank you all for bearing with us. We don't
That's
rehearse
windy
these.
day.
It's probably pretty obvious. But those are three things that you ought to try to do to keep your marriage vital and alive. One is clear the air and go to the balcony, have a study session. Two is continue the courtship. And three, pray together.
Bye-bye, good luck.
And, you know, while you're at it, take us seriously when we say continue the courtship, right? I mean, I don't care what else you've been doing. You gotta, of all the three things we just said, which is the most important?
Eat dinner together and talk.
Eat dinner together and talk, but continue the courtship because, look, I mean, when you got a gal like that, you better take her out, right?
Radio.
Have
It's a
fun.
fun place.
Have fun. That's the bottom line, isn't it? In marriage.
Have fun.
Okay, you got it? Okay.